thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just happened to absolutely love this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. Alright everyone, I have not been this excited to film a video in a minute. This is absolutely something I've been wanting to do for a long time. We are going floral today and working on a floral arrangement. As you all know, houseplants are my thing. Flowers, not so much, so I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsor today, Skillshare, for making this video possible. If you don't know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creatives, creators, and many more. You know I love Skillshare, so by this point I am taking classes in houseplant care, outdoor gardening, journaling, self-improvement, and now floral arrangements. Probably my favorite class to date is Everyday Flowers, simple, stunning arrangements for any occasion, held by Spencer Falls, also known as the Unlikely Florist. He broke down floristry in such a palatable, accessible way that I felt like any mental hurdle I had to allow myself to get into a new hobby was broken, and here we are today ready to jump into it. So today's video is absolutely going to be incorporating some of the knowledge that I gained from his lessons. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description box down below or use my code GOODPLANTY will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. I highly recommend you try it out. It gave me a lot of pep in my step. And now we're gonna jump into the video. So as you can see here, I tried to make a cute little setup with all the flowers. I looked absolutely unhinged bringing all of these home. I went to Trader Joe's, which, believe it or not, had a very impressive selection of flowers. I don't know why I've never thought to just buy a bunch and arrange them. I always saw them as very like individual flowers. Like, okay, I'm either gonna buy hydrangeas or chamomile or something like that, but I'm realizing I can just mix and match flowers how I like. Yeah, this is the selection today. I have some hydrangeas. I don't know officially how to say that. So I have some white here. I got some pussy willow, which are these like branches with the little fuzzy tips on them. This is probably my favorite, honestly. I got some chamomile, which I think are just like really cute button shapes, and also has a lot of foliage, which is nice. I have some pincushion protea, I think is how you say it. These I just saw in like every floral arrangement video that I watched, including the one on Skillshare, so I was like, okay, I guess I need those. I got a bunch of eucalyptus, and then I got this rather massive Empress protea bouquet, so it has some green foliage in here as well. Yeah, so that's the selection today. Some tips I gathered from the course were to have a height range in mind, so I definitely tried to get some taller elements, some flowers that I thought would be good fillers, like the chamomile, and I also tried to balance out getting flowers, but also making sure I have some greenery so that I can play around. The color, the instructor of the class was really great in making me not feel super pressured to stick to a certain color palette. However, I just felt more comfortable going with a color palette, so I have a lot of warm reds and yellows, oranges, creams that kind of match the greens very well. Those are the plants that we are working with. I think we're just gonna jump into it. Let me grab my scissors. This is one of the few vases that I have, and it was pretty large. I already filled it with water because it sounded like that was the right thing to do. And if you want to see how a beginner approaches floral arrangements, we're gonna get started. And the first thing I think I want to do is go through and clean all the stems off so that I can get in the groove. I learned that you should kind of like be conservative in how much you are snipping off and always cut on a diagonal, because it's easier to cut off more stem later, but you can never add it back on. Kind of follow it down. If it's browning like that, I think I'm gonna give it a diagonal snip so that it looks kind of like this. And then for some of this foliage, like the eucalyptus, I'm gonna break off the lower stems. I think you can rip them, but you might get some scarring like this, so You can also just snip them, like so. If you don't see me use a certain flower in this particular arrangement today, just know it is not going to waste. I am very much into flowers and will be using every little last bit of this. Up from at least the length that they are now. I removed any dying leaves. I freshened up any stems that were looking weird, cut off any broken flowers, the whole thing. So they're pretty ready to go. The first thing that I learned in the Skillshare course that I want to keep in mind is that it should be 1 part vase to 2 part arrangement. I do want to incorporate some taller elements. He approached it by putting in a lot of the greens first and sort of building a grid within your vase that will allow you to provide support for any of the flowers you want to like put in. So let me move this a little bit so you can still see what's going on. I'm just gonna put in a few of these eucalyptus leaves. If I need to clean off more as I go, I can always do that. And I'm just gonna crisscross them into the vase to kind of build, like I said, that net or that grid that I can pop more flowers into. And you wanna eliminate as much soft tissue and foliage that's sitting in the water as possible to prevent any rot, pretty much. It smells so good in this room, I can't even tell you. Okay, so we have like a rough little base right here. And then the next step is to add some of your taller leaves, as he called them. So I'm gonna add a few little pussy willow branches. This is fun. Okay, next, I believe I'm supposed to add, and this is all, you can do how you want it. Obviously, I'm just trying to follow a little bit of structure here. I think I should add my like star of the show flower, which is this massive protea. I'm gonna put that, feed that into my little grid. I think I want to cut it down a little bit. Oh my god. I don't have shears. I can't really cut it yet, so we're just gonna put it in and keep moving. Can you see me? Let me back you up a little bit so you can see me a bit better. Okay. All right. Let me fix this. All right, we finished our flower arrangement. Here she is. And Wow, that was so much fun. I, again, would like to emphasize that I am not an expert in floral arrangement. This was just kind of like a fun way for me to share a first-timer's experience with all of you, and it was one of the most therapeutic, good-smelling, gorgeous, relaxing experiences of my life. I wish I could do this all the time. I did definitely have a few takeaways, like things that I would do better next time now that I gave this a go. I would definitely get more filler plants, especially with a larger vase. Like I would pay more attention to my vase, and I think I underestimated how large this vase was and how much filler I would need to give some of the plants a little bit more stability. There are a few little negative spaces throughout the arrangement that okay, let's pretend that that's not happening, that I would ideally like to fill, but it is what it is. This is my first time and I am learning. Some things I think I did well and want to keep in mind for next time is I think I had a really good variety in height. You can see I have the taller airy elements here, and then I would like a little bit more of density here, but it is what it is. The variation in texture I think adds a really fun element to this arrangement. I think it's a little bit reflective of me as a person. It's a little bit dramatic, but it's definitely fun and gorgeous. Sounds like me. Yeah, I found it to be like a very simple and intuitive but challenging art form, I would say, in that you really can't do much wrong, but to make it come together in the way that you want definitely takes a lot of practice, patience, and playing around. I could probably spend another hour on this trying to make it even more reflective of what I originally pictured, but I'm very happy and content with where this is at, and I'm very, very excited to get this downstairs into my living space and I can just enjoy it for however long it lasts. This is my arrangement. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. If you have any floral arranging, floristry tips, if that's a word, please comment them down below. I would absolutely love to learn from all of you. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already and want to see more Planty content from me. Hit the notification bell, like this video. Huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Again, if you want a 1-month free trial, you can click the link in my description box down below or use the code GOODPLANTY. Without that course, I definitely would not have had the head start to build an arrangement of this degree. So that was really fun for me. And here's to keeping ourselves on our toes and always learning new things, because it's so much fun and it's very rewarding. This eucalyptus is obsessed with me. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Huge thank you to all of my members. Thank you to O'Neill, Val, Katrina, Audrey, Louie, Heather, _B, Jacqueline, Brooke, Daniel, Vanessa, Michelle, Tori, Candy, and Pam. You guys are the best, and I'll see you in my next video.